Hey everybody, how's it going? I don't normally do videos from my truck, but I'm sitting in a ferry lineup. I just missed the boat, so to speak. Well, literally missed the boat. I'm heading over to Vancouver Island to shoot a match this weekend. Actually, a couple of matches for IPSC. So, yeah, the federal election in Canada last week. Quite a disappointment. A vote for basically to give up our liberties. So, yeah, I'm very, very disappointed. But what this election really showed was just how broken our system is. For the second election in a row, the popular vote went to the Conservative Party of Canada, but the Liberals took most of the seats. That's the second time in a row that happened. Now, mathematically, that's possible even if all of the ridings were equal. So, for example, if 51% of the ridings out there had 51% of the voters voting for Party A, and all the rest of the votes went to Party B, then Party A would still win, even though out of 49% of the ridings, 100%, and also 49 of those 51 ridings, or 51% of the ridings. So mathematically, it is always possible. It's just not very likely to happen all that often. But it's happened twice in a row. And I think primarily it's happened for a couple of reasons. First, that the ridings are not equally disseminated around Canada. And in Quebec, for example, there are about 100,000 people per riding, whereas in British Columbia there's almost 150,000. Not quite, but right around there. So, as you can see, the ridings aren't really equally disseminated across Canada. And I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure that as you go further east in the Maritimes, it's even more dramatic. I'll actually look into that, and I'll correct this video before I send it out if I'm wrong. And that's a real issue. Another issue is how we in the West here vote and how we think and what our culture is compared to what the culture is in Central and Eastern Canada. Central and Eastern Canada is liberal country, and Western Canada is pretty much conservative with little spots of liberals and also NDPers and whatnot. Another concern is that really the Conservatives shot themselves in the foot on this election, because there's two Conservative parties now, the People's Party of Canada and the Conservatives. Now, the Conservatives is some people will argue it's not truly a Conservative party, that it's more of a centralist party. I'm not going to argue that point. I will say, however, that they're a lot better than the Liberals. So, yeah, Conservatives kind of shot themselves in the foot, because although a lot of people don't like to talk about it and don't like to admit it, splitting the vote is a real thing. And with somewhere close to 34% of the vote for the Conservatives and somewhere around 31% for the Liberals, that extra 5.5% would have gotten the Conservatives fairly close to 39%, maybe even closer to 40%. And that would have I think that would have made all the difference in the world. But again, because of the way our system is set up, not necessarily, because I do believe our system is broken. So, really disappointed. This is going to cause a lot of problems in the future for our liberties. Censorship on the internet, basically your right for freedom of speech, Also, right to private property. They're already taking private property away from citizens just because they don't like the property the citizen owns. And these are law-abiding citizens, so by definition, people who don't break the law. And yet, for political reasons, they decide to confiscate, seize, steal people's property. So I think that's a huge problem, and it does pose a problem for the future of Canada. And I think it also demonstrates a huge difference in how we in the West think and act compared to how people in Eastern Canada and Central Canada think and act. The only pockets of Liberals and NDPers out here are large cities and places that have actually received a lot of migration from the East. And it's not that I'm against migrating from the East. I'm originally from New Brunswick, but I grew up in British Columbia. I'm a BC boy. I grew up here, been here since 1972. Little stint in Alberta, little stint in Japan, but, well, not just a little stint in Alberta, 15 years and 3 years in Japan. But I'm back in BC. I'm retired now, and yeah, I'm a BC boy. And I have always had a Western take on things in Canada. And I believe that this really demonstrates the difference between the Central and Eastern Canada and the West. And I don't think the West is ever going to be truly represented in Canada and have equal representation. I don't think that's possible. I don't think our values are represented in the Canadian Parliament or even in the Canadian system. I believe a better system for representation and representation of your values would be the United States. And I know that this is going to have a huge impact on people emotionally, and I'll probably get a lot of negative comments on this. And I don't mind constructive criticism, and I don't mind people explaining why they don't believe in that and why they don't agree with it, provided it's not just abuse, because that's not really constructive at all. So yeah, like, have a different opinion, comment in the comment section, and support me if you want. But I am really going to start pushing for independence from Canada, for British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. I'm going to really be supporting that. I don't think that it would be wise to start another political party there in the federal sphere of things, but I do believe that provincially it would be a good idea to start a political party. And if I get enough support, then I'll really look into that, or I'll look into any other parties that are out there that have already been established or will be established by people who feel the same. I do believe that we would be well represented as the 51st or even 52nd state if Alberta goes first. So thanks, and for listening. Feel free to like, comment, share. Just keep it civil if it's in the comment section, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.